OM5 versus OM4, this video is to solve all of your questions and trust me, it will do. No more talking, let's go. Right now, the price once the OM5 is launched of the OM5 is $159 and the OM4 price right now, Chivo will do it by edit because he comes from the future. What about the weight, guys? Because the OM5 is much smaller and lighter, 320 grams, and the older OM4 420 grams. That's a difference of 100 grams. Trust me, you'll notice this after quite some time using it. And well, what about the max loadout? Because well, no puedo frenar. What about max loadout, guys, for this OM5 is the same as it was on the OM4, 230 grams, and yes, it will handle, I'm going backwards, it will handle your iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is 226 grams, so pretty much it covers the whole range of bigger phones in the market. Thumbs up for me doing the edit with the surf skate, thanks Gimbal. Now guys, probably the most interesting, battery lifetime. You gotta understand that the OM5 is smaller and it includes this extension rod inside, which makes that probably the battery will be something like this. 6.5 hours max usage time versus the 15 hours that the OM4 had. On the other hand, the charging time is reduced from 2.5 hours of the OM4 to 1.5 hours of the OM5. It has to have some advantages, of course. The battery is the biggest difference in these two devices, guys, and I really want you to let me know in the comments if you think that this is good or bad. I mean, my position here is 6.5 hours. Of course, it's always to have 15 hours battery. More battery, of course, better than less battery, but you sacrifice some weight and some space for 6.5 hours. Now, I don't think that you will be in one single day filming 6.5 hours of footage with your phone. This is why I do believe that it is enough as long as you know that you can charge it during the night, as you would do your drone or your phone, for example. Now, both use Bluetooth 5.0, so I don't think there's going to be any difference in connectivity uses to your phone from the OM5. But now the most interesting here, guys, both are charged via USB-C, but look at this, the OM4 had also this USB-A port, which is not there anymore. It's completely removed on the OM5. You know, smaller space. One of the questions, guys, is can I use the older magnetic clamps also on the new Osmobile? And the answer is definitely yes. It is actually the same. The design has changed a little bit. I do think that these arms of the clamp are a little bit thicker than on the previous version. But to the question, can I use the new clamp on the old version or the old clamp on the new OM5? The answer is definitely yes. As you can see, there are not really big problems. Guys, what about the frame and the buttons? As you know, and I've said in the review and also here, the frame of the OM5 is 100 grams lighter and smaller, but essentially the buttons are pretty much the same. However, the OM5 brings the power on button on this side, where the OM4 just only had this zoom that is still on the OM5. The joystick has been changed a little bit. I'm not really sure if it's better or worse. It is similar. However, once you master how to use the OMs, you don't really use the joysticks anyway. Apart from that, overall the same solid materials. It feels, well, actually this rubber part, this a little bit more comfortable part, has been put at the back on the OM5, which is at least interesting. The gimbal remains pretty similar, and overall the shape of the OM is also very similar. When it comes down to the features, they are pretty similar. Both operate at 120 degrees per sec max speed, which is it's pretty much the same gimbal in terms of speed. However, where are the big changes where the OM5 wins over the OM4 and that make you decide, well, I should go for the OM5? Well, the new Active Track 4.0, and as if you've seen our review, it works pretty phenomenal. I was probably the most surprised about this OM5 was the Active Track 4.0, which the OM4 doesn't have. And finally, those shot guides that are pretty interesting if you're a beginner, because they will teach you and show you some BTS footage on how to shoot your shot, which is pretty interesting if you have no idea on how to film. The OM5 will give you that little edge and will teach you actually on how to shoot better footage. Look at this Chivo. You wouldn't say which one is the tripod of the OM5 and which one is the OM4. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. The older one, Chivo stock, bit it, so we know it's the OM4 tripod, but it's essentially the same tripod. So, and they have the same, you know, screw thing, so they will work the same way on both gimbals. So guys, the final question of course was, is it worth buying the new OM5 or can I save those extra bucks and go for the OM4? Well, in my opinion, it will always depend on your specific situation, but the OM5 is smaller, it is lighter, and that extra less weight and extra space that you can take in your bag may be worth it. But of course, this extension rod is something really interesting. This will show you a variety of things that you didn't have before. I told you in the review, check it out, that eventually I ended up using the rod for everything. So you can also take selfies. And if you're a vlogger, you know, look at this Chivo, you will have a much wider field of view with your phone. So if you're gonna be vlogging and stuff like that, definitely go for the OM5. If you're short on money, you may stick with the OM4. You can do this, yes. Nothing really else to say, guys. Always remember to hit the like, also for Chivo, for his amazing filming and editing. Nothing really else to say. Always remember to keep calm and talk QEB. No. The battery is of course the most different thing. OM5 versus OM4. This video is here to solve all of your doubts. No more talking. It will do the... ¿Quieres que lo haga en plan broma? Digo, en plan, oye, que no sé, ahora mismo no sé el precio. Pero voy a quitarle esto. Weight of the phone for both...
Espera, que es un caos esto.
The battery is of course the most interesting thing and the biggest difference among these two devices, and I really want you to know... No want you to know! Espera un segundo, que no sé si le he liado. No, ya está bien, está perfecto. Now, no sé qué me pasa hoy, Now both use Bluetooth 5.0